Sleazy, go ahead.
So I just want to know, like, how you guys think that this isn't Browderism, what you're doing.
Explain what it is.
Well,
Don't,
can you
you're
briefly...
fucking kidding me. You're not going to get on here and insult people and not know what Browderism is. Like,
Hold
how
on,
are you
hold
going to
Oh,
give
I
these
said
flippant
explain how
answers?
we're doing Browderism, not explain what it is.
Eddie.
Yeah, how are you doing it? How are you not doing it? How is this not
Please,
Browderism, what you guys are doing?
In your own words, please tell me what Browderism is.
No, I'm not giving you in my own words when you've just flippantly answered people left and right.
All right, so if you want me to educate you on what Browderism is, Browderism was a form of liquidationism in which they basically wanted to turn the Communist Party USA into a literal appendage of the Democrats as like the CPA, the Communist Political Association, which would have acted as a lobbying and interest group to basically be like a think tank for the Democrats or something. So Browderism was associated with a form of extreme liquidationism that was based in too much of a naive faith and trust in Roosevelt's New Deal coalition and the institutions, the political institutions of the bourgeoisie in general. Now, if I had to guess, I think you're an illiterate and uneducated online internet leftist who looked at rallies of the Communist Party USA during the 1930s, where they had a lot of patriotic symbolism and they had a lot of enthusiasm for, for the country they lived in, which was just the orthodox Marxist-Leninist position shared by all Marxist-Leninist parties, and say that's Browderism, because for some reason it's surreal to you that communist parties are patriotic. But that wasn't what Browderism is, because even under the leadership of William Z. Foster, or even later under Gus Hall, or whatever leadership the CPUSA had, up until the liquidation after the 1990s, I would argue that's what it is. The CPUSA towed the orthodox Marxist-Leninist line of socialist patriotism. And whether that was Browder or William Z. Foster, that was not a decisive point of contention. The decisive point of contention concerned the liquidation of the party into the CPA, which that is what solidified the notion of Browderism, finally and fully. So you're asking us why we are Browderists. I think it's incredibly bizarre to put the onus on us as far as disproving how we're Browderist when we are an independent party, which is not an appendage of any other kind of party. We're maintaining proletarian political independence, even more so than the party has historically. Historically, the party was much more receptive to having coalitions with Democrats, and we don't have any coalitions with any party. We're that fiercely independent. So what is Browderist about our party? That's very baffling. The onus is on you to demonstrate what is Browderist about our party. So, sir, don't get angry and start, I know I just gave you an education lesson that contradicted your entire Reddit curriculum, but you're going to have to calmly respond to this, or we're just going to remove you. Go ahead.
Dude, for one, you go on this boring rant that doesn't discuss anything that I said. You're telling people...
Oh my good lord.
You just said I went on a boring rant that didn't address anything you said. When you said, why are we Browderist, I very thoroughly explained to you what Browderism actually was and how we have nothing to do with it. And you're saying it has nothing to do with what you said. Do I hear you correctly, or do my ears deceive me? I can't tell you.
You got to quit muting me, buddy. So here's the deal. Like you just said, why did it take you 3 minutes to describe something I can describe in 30 seconds?
Because when I asked you to describe it, you said you weren't going to do it, and that we have to describe it because we're being mean to people. That's why I educated you very thoroughly.
Muting me again, dude. Quit fucking muting me. Like fucking take
Stop
it.
yelling,
like, what the hell is...
Stop yelling. Calm down. Make an
What do you
argument.
mean? Decorum is a tool of oppression. I can speak as loud as I want, you fucking pussy. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God! Make
address
an
the
actual
actual critique.
nonsense.
I can make an actual argument if you quit muting me. Like,
Go for
and
it.
like you, Eddie, making the distinction, like, oh, we need to distinguish
Shut up and
ourselves
make an
and be
argument.
like, oh,
You are so
I will.
annoying. Please
Not
say
as annoying
something
as you. So,
substantive.
sure, yeah, shut the fuck up. So you said you make this distinguishing that we don't think mega communists need to support trans rights and things like that. And so you're doing Browderism, you're doing identity politics, you're doing neoliberal politics.
Is this real? Is this a real
What,
person?
is this a troll? What about us has anything to do with Browderism? Go ahead.
You can unmute yourself, bro.
Okay, yeah, I can. I'm not gonna just continue to unmute myself, dude. Like, if you guys can't handle having an honest conversation and take some valid critiques, you just want to get fucking softballs all fucking day long, then that's up to you. I don't care. You do all
softballs. You're soying out like a freak, like
Get
crazy.
to the critique.
Yeah,
Get to
because
the
you just
critique.
fucking keep muting me. Look at you.
But
You
it's
guys do
Browderism.
the same
You're
shit to
not-
every
you're
single
not
person who
talking-
comes up. No,
You came in here asking us about Browderism, so talk about Browderism. Go
you
ahead.
asked for a debate, and now you're getting it, and you can't fucking handle it. You
What's
just keep muting
Browderism?
me.
What is the debate?
I
You
already
said
told you it's communism wrapped in an American flag, and I didn't need 3 fucking minutes to ramble on about.
Can you address the point I made about how it was still wrapped in an American flag under William Z. Foster and every other leader of the CPUSA, not just Earl Browder? He was not exceptional for that, and therefore it's not Browderism. Browderism was more specifically about the liquidation of the party into the CPA.
No, you're just deflecting. We're not going on some ideological tangent about.
No, I think it is important to defend how Dimitrov established the norm of socialist patriotism and clarified it for every communist.
Of course, you think it's important because you've actually met someone who can critique you, and you're not willing to.
But you can't do that. You're just soying out about the debate.
Because I'm doing what you're doing. You're not giving me any space to give you a valid critique. If you're just gonna sit there and shit talk, so am I, motherfucker.
Respond to my argument. Respond to the point I made then. Go ahead. Respond to it.
You respond to my point and tell me how. Okay, if my definition is Browderism is communism wrapped in the American flag, how are you guys not that?
Because it's
How am I wrong?
Because it's a wrong definition. That's why.
How so?
Because it was wrapped in an American flag under all the other leaders of the CPUSA too, not just Earl Browder.
Okay, so is there Fosterism?
Yeah, sure.
Is there
I
a
don't
term
mind that.
Fosterism?
Yeah, sure. We're Foster.
Yeah,
Right?
we're just American communists. You could just call us American communists.
Okay, so you are a Browderist. You'll admit it.
No, we're not. Because Browderism is something very specific.
Okay. Okay, so anyway, let's carry on then. So if you guys aren't these things, then why do you need to make that distinction? Like, it's not trans people who are centering themselves and saying we need to have
I think you need to go to the hospital and get some antipsychotics. Because it's like we went from Browder to trans people, and I don't know what you're just angry about something, and you need to go get some antipsychotics from the hospital, right? I tried
That
to
was wild.
your so-called critique calling us Browderists. I carefully explained to you that you don't know what Browderism is. You seem to have conceded on that point, and then you pivoted to trans people. What does that have to do with Browderism, for that matter? He's like, you're wrapped in an American flag, and then it's like, okay, can you? What does this guy think that in Yemen and Afghanistan and Palestine, for that matter, and all these places where the American flag has a really bad rap, that's like a trans paradise? What is he trying to say? That anti-Americanism is somehow proportional to trans rights? Because it's really not. And the opposite is in fact true. All right.
Oh boy.
Sleazy wants to come back. All right, Sleazy, you heard my terms and conditions. Go ahead.
Oh, you guys are bringing me back. Let's go. Okay, so here we'll keep it simple for you. So, why do we feel the need to go after MAGA and turn them into communists? How many Bolsheviks were there at the start of the revolution?
A lot less than there were peasants.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, what percentage of a population does it typically take for a revolution?
The Bolsheviks couldn't have won without the peasants.
Yeah, absolutely not. That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is the starting
matter.
point. So no, you don't have to go get in bed without fascists to achieve communism. And everybody knows that. Breezy's got it 14%. It takes approximately 14% of the population to start a revolution. So you don't need to go
that's
after.
not true.
You don't need to go. It is true. What?
It's not true. You can't just have 14%. You're missing the context of the 90% peasant majority that were extremely aggrieved to the point where they were setting up alternative forms of governance called the Soviets. And the 14% that you're talking about that took power came to power on the back of a slogan called "All Power to the Soviets One," and the second, "Peace, Land, and Bread." So absolutely you need the majority.
We're talking about all revolutions across all history is the 14% number. That's not just a specific to the Soviet Revolution number. But so it was 24,000 Bolsheviks at the start of the revolution, approximately. By September, there was 200,000. So yeah, you're.
Can you respond to what I just told you about how the situation had to be such that they connected?
You're asking me to come debate you, then you're constantly deflecting. Do you want to hear my point, or do you want to?
I don't want to hear you anymore because
Insufferable.
It's not possible. It's like I just raised a point. Like, no, it wasn't just a small minority because it was a revolutionary context for the great majority. And then had they not connected with that great majority, the minority would not have been able to take power.
Carlos is always saying we have a crisis of argumentation in this country where like people don't actually even understand what an argument is. And sleazy is example number one of that. I'm just going to start sending invites. Man, the only one who wants to debate is sleazy because he doesn't understand arguments, so he can just come up here and scream. We got Seraph. He's an infrared guy, though, right?
Sleazy, just is waiting to scream. All right, Sleazy, go ahead.
There we go. All right, so like right there, you just failed. There's a very simple like retort to that argument. Obviously, that guy's just willing to uphold a monopoly on violence for his own self-service, right? That's what's.
What happened? What was that even about? What was he saying?
So did you not just admit, Eddie? So you agree with that critique then, right? That's
No.
the critique of his position
Absolutely
on monarchy?
not.
That you said that's what you were saying.
I was saying that he supports a strong state, when the state has the monopoly on violence. So we should support communism instead of monarchism.
Right, so if you think that monarchism is less violent than communism, then that's only because it's a self-serving position because you're not feeling the violence perpetrated by that monarchy, right? Because if you're one of the, what do you mean what? So like say when the Dutch are conquering the Congo, so sure it's very easy for someone who's under King Leopold to say, oh yeah, monarchism is much less violent than communism because Mao, because Stalin, whatever bad argument they want to use. But the reality of that is because they're not facing the violence under that monarchy, right? That's pretty simple. You guys should be able to agree with that one. I mean, that's like communism 101. If you guys don't got that one, where are we at?
The guy was defending the Middle Ages, so Leopold would be
Well, I'm not the one who called monarchists the easiest ones to convert to communism. I mean, if that's not the most bourgeois fucking champagne socialist thing I've ever heard in my life, like, come on, dude. Like,
the guy was talking about pre-modern monarchy. He wasn't talking about.
Well, capitalism has.
Sorry,
the
I'm good
ultimate
at
ability.
converting people. Sorry, I'm actually able to convince
hey,
people of my arguments, which I'm sure
you can
you've never
convert,
done
sure.
in your life.
Okay, sure. And in fact, I know there's people in this live that I've converted. But anyway, you can laugh all you want. You can laugh all you want. But
Picture it didn't happen. Picture it didn't happen.
Okay, here's the thing though. So if you guys, so that again, like your targets are wrong. It's fine if you can make a connection with those sort of people, but like you were talking about intersectionality earlier, Hans, right? So you know what that is?
Hans.
Sure.
Is he German now?
I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, so intersectionality. That's they came for first. They came for the communist, right? So that's why you guys don't have to make this distinction that you don't care about trans rights and things like that, because you shouldn't be centering them. But neoliberal politics do, because capitalism has the ultimate ability to co-opt, right?
All right, that's enough of that.